Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day, be it the beginning, middle, or end of your day, or if you are sleeping, I hope you are sleeping well. Uh, Today, we get to start off with Diamond Rat Casino by Heliopolix, which is quite a name. So, as always, we start each stream with the most voted on puzzle by supporters. So, today, the supporters who voted for this puzzle are David, Dorlier, Russ, Josh, Nell, Luda, and Doomdiat. Thank you all so much for your support. Let's see if we can understand the rules of this puzzle. So we have normal Sudoku rules. So we need to place the digits 1 through 9 in every row, column, and 3x3 box. We have aces high question mark, which is a terrifying start. The digit 1 counts as either value 1 or value 10 for every clue in the grid, including anti-night. I guess that means this puzzle is anti-night. Any digit 1 can simultaneously have different values for different clues affecting the same cell. Also terrifying. We have counting diamonds, which are a diamond value, or a digit value in a diamond counts how many times that digit appears in all diamonds. Anti-night cells, chess knights move apart may not have the same digit value. Aces high applies separately to each pair of cells, which are chess knights move apart. So ones, basically what this just says is ones can be, like, I could make both of these a 1 by just artificially declaring that. Yeah, so basically anti-night doesn't apply to 1. Is it possible for a grid to be anti-night for every digit except for 1 digit? I feel like mathematically that doesn't sound possible, but maybe it is. The digit's value along an arrow must sum to the digit value in the attached circle. So keep in mind this could be a 1. In Kropke pairs, cells separated by a black dot must have digit values in a 2-to-1 ratio. Not all black dots are necessarily given. Probably we get to start with this. Hey, Janelle, welcome. And Heliopolix, the setter, is in the house. Okay, so first of all, you might briefly worry about what the black dots are going to do with ones, and these black dots might indeed do something weird with ones. But I don't have to worry about these black dots doing something weird with ones, because I can't go like 2.5510, for example. So these do have to be from 1, 2, 4, 8. And notably, these two are a multiple of 4 off. Because in order to go across the black dot, I have to multiply by 2 or divide by 2. So these two differ by a multiple of 4, which means this digit is actually a multiple of 5. So its only possible values here are that it is 1 or 5, when the 1 would, of course, be a 10 if it was that. And those correspond to this being either 1, 4 or 2, 8. In particular, note the middle of these is never a 1 or an 8 itself. Also, this is a really long arrow. Okay, so maybe the point is this can't be a 1 because it would make this arrow circle too big. Because if this is a 1, these would already sum to at least 9 plus 3 more digits. That's not going to work. So this can't actually be a 1. Just by sort of figuring out what that would do to this circle. Because you can't add 3 digits to 9 without getting strictly more than 10. So this actually is a 5. And we get to bring out Zach for ye old 5 dance. Ba-boop-ba-doop. Whoa. Ba-doop-ba-doop. Wah. Ba-doop-ba-doop. Wee. Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, but this being a 1 still Sudoku logically, I can't put 2 ones in a box, right? It still says normal Sudoku rules. So even if this was a 1 representing a 1 or a 10, these 3 cells would still be a minimum of 9. So I don't think anything I said is wrong, right? So these have to be 1, 4. That has to be a 2. Okay, so the minimum here, just to sort of work it out, is that these are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this actually, so this actually has to be minimized. Have to be 1, 2, 3 with a 1 and a 1, right? Because that is 6. Yeah, that is 10. So that is a 3, a 2, and a 1, and that's a... Oh, sorry. This would be a 2 or a 5, except there's already a 5 in the row. So I think we get all of that for free, I believe. And 4 is now placed in this box by anti-night shenanigans. Let's see. I probably should remember that this puzzle is anti-night and not just ignore that. So 1 is up here now. Oh, right, it's not anti-night for 1, right? Sorry, it's not anti-night for 1. Thank you for the reminder. But it is anti-night for 2. So, in fact, actually, that actually does mean that it is anti-night, or it is not anti-night for 1, because now this 1 actually can't be anti-night. Wherever this 1 goes in this box, it is going to violate anti-night for something. Okay. So there is a 2 over here. There's a 2 down here. Wherever the 2 is, it's actually in a diamond down here. So that is 2 2s in diamonds. So there are no more 2s in diamonds for what it's worth. I guess that doesn't at all help with this particular 2. But I do see that this particular 2 goes in one of these 2, which means that cell's never a 2. Oh, that does place this 2 over here, though, because I need to place a 2 in row 8. And the only place I can place a 2 in row 8 is there because of the aforementioned note that I can't place it in a diamond. And once I have noted that, Tristan notes that I can place the 2 over in this box. And so I'm pretty sure that's going to give me the last 2 in the grid there. Oh, that's not the last 2. Oh, right. It's not the last 2 because I have this little Z-wing of 2s left to handle. So these can be 4, 8, 3, 6, or 1, 5. Oh, sorry. It can't be 1, 5 because neither of these things can be 1. So these can only be 4, 8, or 3, 6. And that one's not a 4, so that one's not an 8. Just so that it is worth it. Is there any way I can put 8 in diamonds? I'd have to put an 8 and a diamond in every box. Oh, something went wrong. What went? How did this happen? Yeah, something is wrong. The pencil's been broken since putting 1, 2, 4, 8 on the dots at the start. Oh, because I could do like 5, 1, 2 is the problem. I didn't consider a 5, 1, 2 dot right. Horrible. Let's see. Okay, so the question is the deduction supposed to be that I have to do that? Because I mean, I just proved I have to do that. But is it reasonable to deduce that I have to do that? Yeah, now it has to be 5, 1, 2 is correct. Yeah, Yeah, the arrow is what I was thinking about of, yeah, so this certainly, these add to at least 6, 7, 8, 9. So this can only ever be a 1 or a 9, but in particular, these add to at least 8, so this can only ever be a 1 or a 2. But the thing that we learned by bifurcating is that it breaks this black dot if I make that a 2, because if I make this a 2, it makes that a 5 and that a 1, which is a really unfortunate deduction. So this can't be a 2, is the point. I don't know if I believe that's what's really intended. I kind of think it is, but I'm not sure. But anyway, the point is that this being a 2 breaks this black dot through shenanigans. So these are a 2, 5, therefore, since those are the things that work there. And so 2 plus 5 is 7. And now, okay, so yeah, I guess now we should think about this. Because similarly, if I think about it, 1, 2, 3, those sum to 8. So this can only ever be a 1 or a 2 as well. Yeah, 7 sevens is definitely notable. As a thing that we have to be careful of. We do have diamonds in every column. We don't have diamonds in every row. Oh, this can't be a 2 is the point. Because if this is a 2, it definitely sees the 2 in this box. Because this is a 2, 5 pair. So the 2, 5 pair sees this. So this is a 1, which indeed makes this 2 or 5. Based on what we have done. Okay. Okay, yeah, that is Jim's point, is that if I look at these three boxes have at most 1 7, and therefore every other box must have a 7, and that's because, of course, there's no 7s in a diamonds over here. But in this column 3, I can only put a 7 in one of these cells, and therefore I definitely need a 7 up here. And therefore I need a 7 down here. I'm going to like flag these as one of them is a 7. Just for things. Yeah, one of these two is a 7. One of these 3 is a... Oh, it's probably not that one. So one of these 2 is a 7. Which I thought was going to be like, it's telling me like that cell's not a 7, but I already knew that cell wasn't a 7. Oh, it can't be this one, because that cell's never a 7, because it's on a black dot. So one of these 2 is a 7, so that's not. So actually that is a 7, which then tells me that that's a 7. Which then tells me this isn't a 7. Which then tells me that this isn't a 7, because that would... Oh, no, sorry. That would not rule 7 out of all 3 of these. I was about to say something wrong again. I should mark that one of... Oh, but if I mark that one of these is a 7, then knowing that each of one of those is a 7 will tell me that this isn't a 7 by Z-wing logic. Which is just to say that if you can count where both 7s in rows 8 and 9 are, there aren't any more 7s in row 8 or 9. And so so that's still... So one of these 2 is a 7. Let's see, which probably does something. It means... that's a 7 now by anti-knight, because that can't... or sorry, because that can't be a 7 and that can't be a 7. So the 7 in this box is just placed. Which indeed means one of these two is a 7. Let's see. I certainly can, by the way, mark these. So again, this can only be a 1 or a 2 ever. And these are at most 4. That one's not a 1. Let's see. Don't quite know what to do with the rest of this. Let's see. That cell doesn't quite see the 2-5 pair. That cell sees the 2-5 pair for what it's worth. Oh, I do know there's a 1 and a 2 in these cells, actually, because of min-maxing business. So there's a 1 and a 2, and then a 3 or a 4. Yes, if... Wait, is that true? Oh, right. Okay, sorry. It's one of these two. Sorry, I misread what cells we were talking about. Paul Fly is pointing out that if this cell isn't a 1, then this cell is a 1, and so not in neither instance can this cell be a 1. So therefore, that cell definitely is a 1, which does not see this cell by anti-night because weirdnesses. Have we counted the number of diamonds, by the way? It feels like probably at some point I should count the number of diamonds. Let's see. Anti-night does not apply because the clues are handled separately. There's just no anti-night on 1s. Like, these two 1s are, like, both fine because of the fact these 1s are not anti-night in this puzzle. 23 diamonds. Okay. And we know 7 of them are 7s. So that leaves us with 16 more worth of diamonds. And we know that neither 8 nor 9 are in diamonds. Or I guess if you want the outies the other way, if you think about the outies sum to 23, and we know 8 and 9 are in the outies. Sorry, the outies actually sum to, sorry, there's disagreement now on how many diamonds there actually are. Please hold. I'll let chat do the diamond math for me. Janelle gets 22 diamonds. Okay, so 23 in outies, 2 of which are 8 and 9, which add to 17. So that means there's 6 more in outies. So the other digits other than 8 and 9 that are in the outies add to 6. And so that sort of leaves you sort of like maximum flexibility in terms of what they could be. Although maybe if I thought about this box carefully, it would tell me something. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's a 7 down in one of those 2 cells. We still have 5 in box 5. Can't go there. And can't go there. So 5 in box 5 is never in a Heliopolix is here. Heliopolix is here now, even, but heliopolix has often at least contributed to the zetamath setting things when we've had them. That annoyingly can be. Yeah, I think there's these 3 spots I think can all be 5. Which I guess is telling me that that digit isn't a 5. But this digit still could be a 5, I think. Let's see. I'm trying to think about questions like, can 6 be an outie, is my next question I'm sort of trying to ask. Because if 6 is an outie, it's the last outie. But then there's sort of the parallel question of, can I actually fit 6 6s into the grid? Because I'd have to put one in every box, basically, except for 3 of them. That would be one of them. One of these 2 would be one of them. That would be one of them. So I'd need a 6 in every other box, in addition to having a 6 in column 3 somewhere. It doesn't immediately seem impossible to me. I'm trying to see if there's... Because certainly... Okay, I guess that would certainly mean this cell was a 6 and this cell was a 6. I don't know how far I'm supposed to chase this before I decide this probably isn't what heliopolix intended. Okay, so that wouldn't be a 6. So for what it's worth, one of these 2 would be a 6. And so that would be a 6, because one of these 3 would have to be a 6. And so that would be the 6. And so that would be a 6. But that all looks okay to me. But if 6 is in diamonds, then I think we know almost exactly where the 6s are. I feel like there's something going on with 1 5s and 2 4s that I could say based on this box and diamonds, but I'm not 100% sure that I am prepared to articulate it. Let's see. Yeah, if 6 is in diamonds, 3 would be in diamonds, because that would have to be a 6. And so then my outies would have to be 1 5 or 2 4 if 6 is in diamonds. Do I really want to pencil mark these 2? I'm a little bit afraid to, but I think I have to, because they can't be 1 2. They could be 3 4. They can't be 5. They could be 6, I think. But they can't be 7 8 or 9. So these are only 3 4 or 6. Because they see the 2 5 pair, and we know that 8 and 9 can't be in diamonds. And so if this is 3 or 4, then that's pretty... Oh, these 6 is in diamonds. There we go. That's the point. Okay, this was the point. I can't put 3 and 4 in diamonds, so I have to put a 6 in diamonds. Because if these are a 3 4 pair, I break the arrow. So 6 is in diamonds, and we can do all the things and all the stuff. Let's do all the things and all the stuff. So first of all, let us mark Joao's 589 triple left in the box, which does not see this circle. Sorry, I got all excited, but it doesn't see the circle. It sees that cell. But let's go back and do all the stuff about sixes, because I said I know 3 places that there aren't sixes. And so these 3, I actually know all 3 of these boxes don't have sixes because one of those 2 has a 6. So therefore this box has a 6, but this box has to have a 6, and it definitely goes there, which actually places a 6 there. And those 6s sort of put a 6 over down here. Except previously somehow I noted... right. I know the 6 in this box is down here, so the... Oh, no, I don't know that, do I? I don't know that that's not a 6. I don't think. I might have cheated before when I said that that had to be a 6. I'm not sure. Let's see, but yeah, I do know that one of those is a 6. So this 6 is up here somewhere, I know that. Sure, there's a 6 up there somewhere. That cell's not a 6 for lots of reasons. So mark 6 in box 2. Oh, yeah. 6 in box 2 does do it, yeah. 6 in box 2 is in one of these 3 spots, but the point is, this is completely from Joao, is that therefore can't be a 6 because it sees all 3 of them, so therefore that's a 6. And we know that's not a 6, so in fact now we can ask where 6 is in row 3, and 6 in row 3 now only goes there. And so we get a 6 up here in fact, exactly that spot, because we know the 6 in this column is down here. And we successfully did a whole lot of nothing. Let's see. Okay, I do know that one of these 2 is a 7, right? I don't think I've marked it, but I do know that one of those 2 is a 7. And I know that one of these 2 is a 7. Wait, do I actually know that one of these 2 is a 7? How have I... Oh, right, sorry. No, that's not true. Sorry, I don't know that one of those 2 is a 7, because that could be a 7, right? It's one of the 2 yellow cells is a 7. That's what I actually know. I thought 6 had to be on the black dot, but I think I confused myself because I convinced myself this couldn't be a 6, but I think this could be a 6. Oh, I guess 6 is on this black dot either way is a true statement that is different from what I did before. But if this is a 6, of course, 6 is on the black dot. And if this is a 6, then the 6 in box 9 is here. So this is a 3-6 either way. So 3 is in the dots. So 3 isn't an outie. And so my outies are either 1-5 or 2-4. Those are my only possible outies. And so funnily enough, it's the digit that's not here. The 2 or the 5 is an outie. So like this 2-5 does not show up in diamonds because one of 2 and 5 doesn't show up in diamonds. I don't think that immediately does anything for me, but it might in the fullness of time. Ah, yes. So these two digits are equal. That's a good way to put it from Paul Fly. I know that 2 and 5 aren't both in, or I can't make my outie. So these two are actually equal, so I can catch up them. And if I do my careful catch-upping, I learn that one of these two is the 2, 5, and that therefore this is the 2, 5 that we have. So that cell, in fact, is the 2, 5 just by sudoku. So therefore it's not a 2. Because we've got 3 of them in diamonds now. So they're 5s, which also makes that a 5 and makes that a 2, which makes that a 2 and that a 1. So we can clean up all of that. Got our lovely little 3, 4 pair here. That is also a 5 by previous logic. I can get rid of my catch-up 5s now. But I need one... No, sorry. I need 3 more 5s in diamonds. Ooh, congratulations, Jay Dyer. Excellent. No, 2 more 5s in diamonds. 2 more 5s in diamonds. Therefore, I know... Yeah, 2 of these cells are 5s. Oh, and those aren't 5s, and these aren't 5s. So if 2 of them are going to be 5s, that must mean that this is a 5, right? Now I've got my 4 5s, and then my only remaining places I could put a 5 in diamonds. Actually, sorry, no, the only place I can put a 5 in diamonds is here, right? I think that's the last 5, which makes that a 7. Which then indeed does make this a 6 by previous logic, because these are now a 6, 7 pair. That is a 3, so that's a 6. I wonder if my logic about the 6 before was correct somehow. I don't know. But I think we get all of that. So I think that's all of our 5s in diamonds. Hey, Tallcat, how are you doing? Okay, so 1 is now just placed in this box here. And by virtue of 1 being placed there, I now know this arrow has to add to 10. So that has to be a 4, and that has to be a 3. People in chat did that a far smarter way, I should acknowledge, which is that people in chat realized that because I know that 5 is in diamonds, 4 isn't. But, well, what can I say? I did it the way that I did it. Okay, so now we can finish 5s by placing the last 5 there. Yeah, I know one of these is a 6 at least. And there are 2 3s, actually. And so the 2... actually, yeah, there's 2 more 3s to put in circle, or in diamonds. And these are the only places for them. And in fact, that has to be 1. So that's a 3 and a 7. A 6 and a 7. And a 3 and a 6, I believe. Just to make that work out. So, yeah, we get a 3 in one of those 2 cells, I suppose. Let's see. Get a 3 up here somewhere. Oh, can I do 3 here? Okay, well, I can do 3. Ah, yes, I can do 3 in this box. 3 in this box is there. So 3 up here is there. So 3 up here is there. Uh-oh, I now have 4 3s in diamonds? Oh, crap, I do. That's a problem. So when I said I need 2 more 3s, I was wrong. There we go. I had, I in fact only needed 1 more 3 in diamonds. This is still a 3, though. That part still works out. Let's see. All good, all good. So let's see. So no 3 there or there or there or there. I do need a 1 in diamonds. That's true. Which maybe should have occurred to me. Okay, I know what this digit is if I fill in these. So these are a 2, 8, 9. So therefore this digit's a 4, just nakedly. So these digits are something. Let's see, 2, 8, 9. One of those is a 4, but it's not that one by Sudoku, so that's a 4. Well, by anti-knight Sudoku, I should say. The 4 in this box I know doesn't go in a diamond because I know 4s aren't in diamonds. So there's a 4 in one of these cells. So there's a 4 up there. So there's a 4 there. So there's a 4 there. So there's a 4 in one of these two cells. Let's see. And yeah, one of those is a 4, but I don't think I have any information about that. 1 in a diamond Chad is talking about, which is that 1 has to go in a diamond. It can only come over here with a 7. So now that third 3 that I need is over here. This is not a 2, so the 2 in this column goes here. And so this is the other 8 and 9. I might be coloring 8 9s in a minute, but I'm going to hold off on that for just a second and see if I can do the rest of it, or if I can do it without that. Let's see. These digits are apparently 3, 8, 9. Sorry, 1, 3, 8, 9. And one of these two is a 1. So if one of these two is a 1, it means neither of them is a 9. Because it would have to go 1, 9, 1 or 9, 8, 1, and both of them would break. So because one of those is a 1, neither of them is a 9. If this were a 3, it would go 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2 is okay, right? Except for the fact that it would leave 8 9s ambiguous. Let's see. If this is a 1, it would have to go 1, 8, 2. So if this is a 3 or a 1, that's a 2. If this is an 8, it would have to go 8. Oh, 8. This can't be an 8 because it would have to go 8, 1, 7. So in both cases, this digit is a 2. Because it's either 3, 1, 2 or it's 10, 8, 2. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, this isn't a 3 by anti-knight. Very good. So that's a 1 and an 8 and a 9 and a 3. I knew we had to disambiguate the 8, 9 somehow, and we didn't have any way to do it that wasn't this arrow ultimately. And I think that we can just mark the rest of the grid, and it probably will work. 3, 9, 8. Let's see. Those are an 8, 9 pair. So yeah, we can get rid of the 8, 9 over there. Get rid of the 3 over there. Oh, this is a 3. That's a 9 because we've got a pair. So that's 6 and 3, 7 and 6, 1 and 7 over there. That places the 1 up here. Let's see. Down this column, we've got a 7, 9, 1. Let's see. Oops. 9, 3, 1, 7. 3. We know this isn't a 4 from previous work somehow. Oh, yes, it's not a 4 because there's a 4 looking at it by anti-knight, right? Okay. Yes, okay, these two see each other. Good, Paul Fly points out. So this is a 2 and a 3. So none of these are 2 in particular. And so that's an 8, 9 pair, which has made that a 3. Which is the last 3 in the grid. these two are different because they see each other by anti-night, so they're an 8-9 pair that both see that cell, making that a 2 if you want to do that in a completely excessive way. So we have no 8s here. It's over there. Let's see. Okay, so now that 2 sees that cell. This 2 sees that cell. I see Tallcat point out, so that is a 2. So no 2 there, no 4 there. Okay. Oh, this 8 sees that cell. So that is a 2 and an 8, and a 4 and a 2, and a 4 and an 8. Cute. I don't... this did not... For me, anti-night is a very high bar to justify using, and this... My only complaint about this puzzle, which I liked a lot, is that it did not justify using anti-night. Like the... I mean, it's... Like, from a, like... theory of so from like a sudoku theory point of view, it tickles me to learn that something can be anti-night on 8 of the 9 digits. Like, I would have bet money that something can only be anti-night on all of the digits if it's anti-night on 8 of them. So I guess maybe that was the motivation for doing this as anti-night, but it feels a little bit odd from my point of view to have sort of combined these two different ideas, which again are both really cool or sort of the ambiguous one thing is very cool, and I really liked the getting got by this. I definitely misproved in my mind that this was not possible at the beginning, which was very cute. Alrighty, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will see you all in just a moment with another puzzle. Welcome back. I have been asked by a mysterious cat who would like to remain nameless to advertise that said cat is doing a stream for SudokuCon tomorrow at some time that you can translate to your time zone. It is 3 p.m. Eastern. And I also see that Joao has become a fan. So welcome, Joao. Let me give you a fan dance. Boop-a-doop. Woo! Ba-doop-a-doop. Wow! Ba-doop-a-doop. Wee! Ba-doop, boo-doop, 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 boo-doop. Waha! Thank you, Zach, and thank you very much, Joao. I did at some point get a fan for Zach to do a fan dance with, but I could not find a way to keep it family friendly, so I have not actually implemented that. But anyway, I realized I have not done any terrifying Sudoku puzzles lately, so we're going to do this terrifying Sudoku puzzle. So we have here. I am told the English translation of the title is Scarecrow by Mixo, who's one of my favorite setters, although I think Mixo sets more non-Sudoku puzzles than Sudoku puzzles, but sets both, and I've enjoyed both. So let's see what we have here. So the thermos, which we don't see very often anymore, I think because they're like somewhat degenerate between lines, and so I think people have just started using between lines instead of thermos mostly. But the way they work, if you've not seen them because you've started Sudoku recently, is the digits need to increase, starting at the bulb and moving towards the tip. Simon always says rise as Mercury rises, which is something I can't quite make sense of if I try and interpret it. But anyway, that is how these things are going to work. And then the quadruples tell you digits that must appear around them. And I don't even have to do anything about doubles or anything. Just there's a 1 and a 2 somewhere in these cells. There's an 8 and a 9 somewhere in these cells, etc. And so the thing I see right away, which is kind, is that this bulb can't be 1 or 2. And so therefore this number has to be at least 4. And that number has to be at least 5. And therefore the 1 and 2 that live in this quad, in fact, actually have to be there as a pair. So we have a 1-2 pair here, which seems very deliberate. And we get to do the same thing down here. Oh no, we're setting up something that's going to be complicated, aren't we? We're going to have to make me just like pretend I know what the word kite means or something, aren't we? Because exactly the same thing happens down here, where these cannot be 8 or 9 because the tip is at most 7. So these are in fact an 8-9 pair. And so we're going to have to say something about why it is going to be the case that that somehow like these either are going to have to be or can't be 2-8, and these either are going to have to be or can't be 1-9. I mean, I guess I should mark. I do know that one of these digits is a 2. I almost tried to use anti-knight there. I do know that one of these digits is an 8. Well, it's certainly not that one. So just by virtue of the fact that I need to have an 8 in this column somewhere and it can't go anywhere else, I know that one of these 2 digits is a 9. It's interesting if that's 8. Because if that is 8, it makes that 9. I don't know. That's super interesting. Of course, I know that one of these 2 is 9. Yeah, 1 I know is in one of those cells. by the same logic, although this one doesn't get excluded from anything. I'm looking for like one of these that would break something. It would break worse. It would break if it were anti-night. I could not make that a 2 and that a 1, because now my brain is going to be trying to do anti-night for the rest of time. So we do have that. Breaks box 5. Let's see. So if that is an 8 and that is a 9, is that saying something? Okay. Yes. Okay. So first of all, I agree with Gully B. I can't put an 8 here, because if I put a 9 here, I have a rather big problem. Which is that if I put a 9 here, then these cells, I guess, become an 8-9 pair or whatever. The point is I've used 8 and 9, and I need to invent a larger number in order to put there. So I certainly can't do that. So the 8 has to stay off of the thing. Now, if there's a 2 here, then there's a 1 here, and there's a 1 and a 2 here, and it would have to be these two cells would have to be a 1-2 pair. But the question is there's something wrong with that being a 2 and that, sorry, this being a 1 and that being a 2. Bombs the 1-9s. Let's see. Let's see. The ones in column 6 and 7. Okay. So the point is one of these two cells is a 1. And if this is a little complicated to articulate, but the point is the fact that one of these two cells is a 1 makes it so that I can't put 2 here, because if I do put 2 here, then I put 1 here, which then puts 1 here. But now I need to put 1 and 2 here, and there aren't enough of them. Oh, it is much cleaner if I note that yellow is certainly a 1-9 pair. That would certainly make my life nicer. But in any event, it does certainly mean I can't put 2 there. AFK says this is just an X-wing on 1s. Am I supposed to see that this cell can't be 1? Yes. I am supposed to see that this cell can't be 1. Because if this cell is 1, then it breaks both of those being 2. That's weird, but yeah, it's true that, yeah, that can't be 1 because it breaks sort of that. Oh, no. There's a way simpler way. Joao and AFK have a much simpler way. This cell just can't be 1 because there's 2 quads with 1 looking up at it. So the 1 in column 6 and 7 are here. Okay, so that can't be 1. So that certainly could be 2. Okay, so this is way, way, way easier than the way that I was thinking that this was actually going. Okay, excellent. So we have that. Okay, again, assuredly the 9 is down in one of those cells. Assuredly one of these two cells is a 2 as well. Okay, so let's mark off that. One of these two is a 2. So we've got that. Let's see. Jaleb is pointing out I should probably good lift this thermo now that I know Do I know that cell's not a 9? I do know that cell's not a 9 because there's a 9 looking at it here. So this cell's at most a 7. And this cell is at least a 3 because we've got the 1s looking at it from below and the 2-8 from over there. So if I good lift this, it becomes 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. That is a worthwhile thing to notice. Okay. So the 9 in this box, I guess, is in one of 3 spots. Yeah, so we've got sort of the 9 locked into, but it's locked into none of those two, so it's a little bit weird. The 1 in this box I actually know is in this row, right? That's probably worth noting. Just because I can't put 1 part of the way along a... Oh, sorry, no, I could put a 1 there. Never mind, sorry, that's not true. 1 is in one of those 3 spots. Let's see. Do I know that this cell can't be 9? I don't think so. Yeah, it is true, as Nicholas says, 1 does go in one of these two because it can't go there, and we just have pencil marks everywhere else. So 3 being vertical. Right, all right, yeah. So similarly, yeah, we know that one of those two is a 9, Tall Cat points out. I agree. Okay. 3 has to be in column 7. I agree. Let's see. Row 6, column 4. Wait, row 4, column 4. What? Row 4, column 4, 6. Right, okay, yeah. So what cells can actually be 9s on these is the point. And so the point here from Ron is that these are the only cells on these two quads that can actually be 9s, which actually means that one of these is a 9. And whichever of them is a 9, that definitely isn't. So that is a smart observation. So therefore, that's not an 8. But that could be an 8, presumably. Yeah, I don't see why that can't be an 8. I see why that can't be an 8. Okay, we have a lot of retractions all of a sudden. Let's see. I bet I can do a similar thing with 1s, perhaps, because those can't be 1s. That can't be a 1. Oh, I've got sort of one more option, don't I? because I could make that cell a 1. So, like, it sounds like I have to do a pretty ugly look ahead to convince myself that this can't be a 9. Chat has done it, but has said it involves, like, every box. Very few spots for 1 in box 9. Yeah, there's 3 spots for 1 in box 9, right? I don't think I can rule it out of any of those, but it's a similar structure. Oh, row 9, column 7 can't be a 1 because of the quads, right? Sorry, right. Okay, yes. A Gully Bee and Tall Cat combined have convinced me that one of these is a 1. Oh, but this one could be. Sorry, this one could be. Sorry. Right, it could be row 9, column 8, right. Sorry, I just had highlighted the thing. Let's see. So the argument, let's see. I'll try and do it and then see if I like it or not. So the 9 goes. So if this is a 9, then that's a 9. And then what next? From there? I mean, I guess it tells me this is an 8. Only need to look at the very corners. Okay, so if this is a 9, that's an 8, that's a 2, that's a 1. And then, yeah, okay, I see the issue. So, this is something to do with this shape. Because if I put a 9 here, it makes the 1 vertical. And so it certainly then makes that a 2 and that an 8, which then looks at that in an ugly way that does not work. I'm trying to find the nice way to say this. I don't think I have a nice way to say this. I suspect there is a nice way to say it. I just don't think I have a nice way to say it. But yeah, I mean, we almost have an XYZW wing sort of hanging around here. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this is not quite a, it's not quite a Y-wing, unfortunately, because these aren't 3 digits. But it is true that if this digit was a 1 or a 9, it would complete the XYZW ring around the outside, which would give you all of those sorts of things. So I suppose from that weird point of view, if this is 1 or 9, that can't be 9. So if that's 9, that's a 1, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying. I think there's an elegant way to sort of say this that I'm still trying to articulate. I mean, I know this can't be a 9. I can prove it can't be a 9, but I'm trying to find the nice way to prove that it can't be a 9 for myself. That isn't I plugged 6 digits in the grid and it broke. Because I think there is something about I think there is supposed to be something about these cells that is that I could say that would make me happy. but I don't quite see how to say it. But if Mixo's watching this later and you have the smart way to say it, because I'm sure Mixo has the smart way to say this, that I'm pretty sure does involve XYZW wings. But in any event, I agree this can't be a 9, even if I don't have a great explanation as to why. So that is a 9 is the point. And we get to do our somewhat unearned 9 dance, but I will do it for us anyway. Boop boop doop. Woo! Ba-doop doop. Wah! Ba-doop doop. Wee! Ba-doop boop ba-doop boop 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 boop. Wah! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So that makes that an 8 and that a 9. We have a 1 looking over. Oh, that 8 actually looks up, so that gives us a 2 and an 8, which gives us a 1 and a 2 over there, which ultimately gives us a 1 there. Yeah, there's assuredly some way to say it. Oh, I see it, I think. Do I see it? No, not quite. So there's two options in the world. You either get the XYZW wing, where you have these things bouncing around the circle, or these two are a 1-9 pair. Is it obvious these two can't be a 1-9 pair? It is not obvious to me that these two can't be a 1-9 pair, unfortunately. I thought I had finally figured out how to say it, but I feel like it's like right there, but not quite. Okay, so we've got all of that. Okay, so yeah, we know the 1 in this box is up here. Okay. So we know this isn't a 2 anymore, at least, because that bulb can't be a 1 anymore. So we can rule 2 out of that cell. Let's see. And so I actually know that 1's up here somewhere for whatever that's worth. I'm going to record it just for my sanity, I suppose. Let's see. 9 I know is in this column somewhere. Yeah, I know 9 isn't in any of those cells, but I guess I already knew that. I do know that the 9 in this row is in one of those two cells for what it's worth. So, like, none of these are 9, for example. It is true. Now 1 in box 9 now really can only go in one of these two cells. That's true. Because 1 can certainly no longer go in the bulb. And this can't be 1 because it's looked up at by this thing. I agree. So 1 in box 6 now, aka 1 in column 6, now goes in one of these two cells. So that's not 1. That's big. Because if that's not 1, then that's not 2. So this is at least a 2. So the 1 on this does, in fact, live in one of these two cells. Oh, it was actually column 8, wasn't it? Do I know this can't be 2 for some weirdo reason? Okay, well, the 2 in this box is in not any of the highlighted cells. Which is kind of, I mean, of course, the 2 isn't there either. Is it actually... Is it somehow the case that I know one of these 3 isn't 2? Like, weirdly, if that's 2, then that's 1. Right, that can't be a 2 because of the 2's in the row. Right. Okay, yeah, so that's not a 2 because we've got these aligning quads over here. So the 2 really is restricted to this column, and putting 2 here is really messy. I don't know that it's broken, but it's very messy, because if I put a 2 there, I put a 1 there, and then I have to put a 1 there, and then all hell breaks loose. Okay, so now this digit is at least 3, going up to a digit that's at most 7. I guess I might as well go ahead and fill in my my thing here. Right. This can't be 2 anymore. Right, that was the point. Right, I knew this couldn't be 2. Now I know this can't be 2 because of the 2 looking up at it. And this can't be 1 either, so I actually now know that these are a 1-2 pair. Which is very good. And so this is also same thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this can't be a 5 anymore, because if I do, I will get a 5, 6, 7 quadruple in the box. So that's not a 5. Sure. Okay, yeah, the Z-wing on 5s in the middle rows. I mean, the nice thing about this grid, that this is very much like my style, the grid's not remotely symmetrical. It just sort of like, it uses repeated visual motifs, so it looks pretty, even though the grid itself doesn't have much symmetry. Right. I now know that one of these 2 is a 1, because if I look at the ones on these quads, this is what Chad is looking at. I know those aren't 1, and I now know these aren't 1, so I therefore know that one of these 2 has to be a 1. And so knowing that actually combines with knowing that one of these is a 1 to place the 1 in row 5, because now these can't be 1s anymore. And so that is a 1, is what chat is seeing. 2 can't be on the thermo in box 2 now, right? It cannot, right? So that so this can't be a 2 anymore because that can't be a 1. So now that's a 2. Do you know that one of these cells is a 1, but I don't know if that's interesting. So now this is at least 3. This can't be 8. But I think this cell could be 9 still, I think. Because I actually know one of these 3 cells is 9, so this being 9 wouldn't be at all surprising. Paulfly says this can't be 8 anymore. Oh, but then Paulfly retracts. Let's see. Row 8, column 9 can't be 6 by an ugly chain involving box 3. That sounds very appealing. Yeah, I'm looking at things like these two being a 5-6 pair. And like, does one of these two have to be a 7? And I think the answer is not quite. Like there's a lot of tension between all of these thermos, but I can't quite do anything productively with any of them that I can see without going beyond my preferred depth of recursion. Box 5's location for 2s. Yeah, that can't be a 2. 2's virtually placed in column 4. Right, that can't be a 2. 1-9 is not 2. I agree. 1-9 is not 2. Do I know that one of these 3 isn't a 2? I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to do here, AFK. I'm just noticing that, like, 2 is in one of these 3 cells, but I don't quite know what I'm doing with that. Remaining cells in the blue cells. Oh, so you're saying I have like a weirdo like X-wing on 2s, because I know I have a 2 here vertically and I have a 2 here horizontally in order for this to work. I see. So you're telling me that like that cell isn't 2 and these cells aren't 2 and these cells aren't 2. Hey Mixo. Yeah, I agree and I like it actually. Once I finally understand what I'm doing. We did not find the Otagon break-in, Mixo. Well, I tried very hard to find a nice way to say the break-in, and I could not find a nice way to say the break-in. I kept trying to frame it as like some sort of XYZW wing kind of thing, but I couldn't quite figure it out. So we just did it as an ugly look ahead instead. Uh, but I was sure there was something there that I spent a long time trying to figure out exactly how I was supposed to say. But then I never quite figured out how to say it. Uh, but it was tantalizingly close. Uh, let's see. Yeah, go. A few people have said that if I put a 6 here and I look ahead far enough, it breaks. Uh, row 6, column 7, and row 2, column 7. Because if this is a 6, it forces that to be a 3. And if this is a 6, it forces that to be a 3. Yes, I agree with that. So this can't really be a 6, because it would make both of those be 3. I agree with that is true. I'm trying to think about like if I can find some like nice theoretical reason why these can't be a 5, 6, 7 triple or something. Uh, uh, I'm unsurprised that that is not a required step somehow. Uh, let's see. If you look at the spots for 3 in these boxes, it looks kind of like this. Let's see. Uh, like, is the question about like where this digit goes in box 9 or something? Is that what I'm supposed to see? Like this digit in box 9 can't go any of those places. Uh, can't I feel like it's something like that, but I can't quite sort of pin together exactly like or this digit. I've looked several times at this digit in box 9. I hadn't looked at that digit in box 9 until now. Uh, but it seems to have similar tension. Uh, let's see. Row 2, column 5, thermo marking. So the only problem with marking this thermo is that that can be 9 and that can be 8. And so if I sort of like maximize it, it's 9, 8, 7, 6. And if I minimize it, it's 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we end up with a lot of options. Oh, well, that one's never 8, at least. Uh, uh, Okay, so maybe the point is that this being 6 or 7 is going to do weird things. Like if this is 6 or 7, we get a 5, 6, 7 triple, and in fact that becomes a 5. Uh, this becomes 5, 4, 3. So yeah, if this isn't 9, it's a 6 or a 7, and that does sort of like force the entirety of the column, basically. Uh, but I can't quite see exactly why that would break. It would just make these a 1 2, no, not a 1 2 pair, a 1 what pair? Uh uh Uh, okay, I see how if this is 6, it makes that a 3, but if this is a 6, doesn't that allow that to be 4? Uh, there are only 3 spots for 3 in this column, I see. Is there any reason why... Or is there any commonality between these 3 places for 3? If there is, I don't immediately see it. Uh, okay, yeah, I see it now, how this being a 6 makes both of those 3. It's because if this is a 6, then it makes that a 7, that a 5, which makes that being a 5 makes that a 4, which makes that a 3, and of course this being a 6 makes that a 3 directly. Uh, row 7, column 4 is a 9. It puts a 9 in row 3, column 3 by the quad. And in row 1, column 5 by the column, and then you can't put 9 in box 3. And in 1 column, right, or okay, yeah, so the, so yeah, so if this is a 9, that's a 9, and that's a 9. Oh, that's already a problem. This being 9 already doesn't work. Because it's just, yeah, oh, I guess, sorry, this is exactly the same thing, sorry. This is exactly what Kurban found. Sorry, I sort of rediscovered it for myself. Basically, the point is if I make this a 9, I make both of these 9 is the problem, and these can't both be 9. So yes. Yeah, that's another geometric setup that I almost feel like there's some like super clean way to phrase, but I definitely agree with it that it doesn't work. Uh 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 if we follow the intended if the follow the intended path, then that gets forced soon. uh let's see, because I do feel like this geometry of these 9s, like, is there a way that I can like color these that makes life more interesting? They certainly don't have to be yellow anymore, but I feel like I could use the fact that these are a 1-9 pair better. uh I guess it's like there are 2 universes. One universe where those are both 1, and one universe where those are both 1. Is one of those universes broken for some reason? Uh, I mean, presumably the answer is yes. Uh, uh, yeah, we've seen that, Nicholas. We're trying to find something better. uh, has been the thing that we have been attempting to do. Uh, yeah, and I know one of those is 9, and I know one of those is 9. Uh, yeah, and sadly, if both of those are 9, that's 9. Uh, it is true, 9 in column 5 only has 2 places it can possibly go. Uh, uh, just by our current pencil marks. Which then sort of like interacts at least a little bit with 9 down here. Uh, uh, yeah, I 100% agree, Nicholas. If this is 9, the puzzle breaks. 9 in row 3. Ah, yeah, 9 in row 3 also only has 2 spots. I agree with that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so we've got sort of again, yeah, I guess we already sort of knew that. Yeah, the sort of this like weirdo pattern of 9s. Uh oh, is this another Otagon somehow? Uh uh this is absolutely another Otagon, isn't it? Uh uh see. So we've got one branch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, uh, yeah, this is like a kind of logic I'm just not used to doing. But I think that's what it is. Where can 8 and 9 go on the 8-9 quad? Uh, we know the 9 only goes in one of these 2 spots, and the 8 therefore only goes in one of these 3 spots. Is I think the point. But I don't think we know that this isn't 8-9 at least. Uh, but yeah, this is supposed to be something about an alternating inference chain, isn't it? Uh, I think. Uh, using the fact that we have each of these pieces. Uh, I've tried to break putting the 8 on the thermo, and I haven't succeeded. Uh, but I've been trying to break that almost since the beginning of the puzzle, and I have never succeeded in breaking putting 8 here. So it probably breaks, but I don't know why. So it would certainly make that 9 and that 9. Uh, are we creating another XYZW wing somehow? Uh, 8 in row 2 goes in one of these 2 spots. Uh, so if I put an 8 here, it has the problem of putting 2 9s into this box. Although I don't know that that feels any different to me than the, like, random asking if this can be 6. I feel like there's some, like, I'm looking for a slightly more systematic way of thinking about this, but I do agree if you look at where 8 goes in this, then that doesn't work. So yeah, 8 in row 6 has to go in one of those two spots. Yeah, so I see that 8 can't go here, although it doesn't quite make sense to me as a step in a Sudoku puzzle, but I do get that that means that these are an 8-9 pair. So going to tell me something about that. 9 in row 2. I think 9 in row 2 still has options. And we've got, like, over and over again, we have all of these things. Uh, 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 now it's easier to see 8 in row 2. It's still in one of those two spots, right? Oh, right, 8 can't go here anymore, right, is the point from J, right? Because if I put an 8 here, it of course breaks because there's an 8, 9 in the box. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jay is right. Just like as soon as I have that 8, 9 cell, I know this can't be an 8 anymore. And so yeah, 8 in row 2 now only has one spot, which is there. Agree with that. I do need a 7 in this row eventually. Okay, so I'm trying to understand Kerbon's point. So if Kerbon and Joao are both sort of getting at sort of like the point is it won't work if I try and make these a 2-8 pair. Uh, as if these are a 2-8 pair. Uh, uh, yeah, I can't quite see it. I do see that we have this this bit about 9 in row 2 goes in one of these two cells, which rules 9 out of everything else in these two columns. So that can't be 9, and therefore that is. I do see that part. Let's see. Okay, so saying this being 2 won't work. 2, 1, 2. Row 6, 7 quads. I'm trying to understand Josh's point here. Still trying to quite make sense of this. So yeah, I can't quite figure out exactly how to sort of put all of this together. I understand that it involves sort of understanding this whole mess of cells and exactly what happens with these. Yeah, I was just trying to explain it more theoretically than if I put a random digit in this cell, then it comes out this way, because I'm not going to spot it that way in the future. And I can't quite find the grokkable way to sort of say this to myself. Like I 100% can like put a digit in a cell and see what happens. But yeah, like the so like basically Mixo is suggesting just do the cases of if there's a 2 here, then that's a 1, a 9, and an 8, and so this isn't an 8. And if there's a 2 here, then that's a 1 and a 9 and a 1 and a 2. Sorry. If there's a 2 here, then that's a 1 and a 9 and an 8 and a 9. Sorry, I can't quite see where the... How is this 2 blocking off that being an 8? I'm not getting the path right. If this is 2... 1, 9, 8, 9. None of those look at that cell. Oh, it's supposed to be blocking... Sorry, it's supposed to be blocking 8 from the other blue cell, right? It's not that cell, right? The point is, whichever one of these I fill 2 in, it blocks 8 from the other. And there's assuredly some coherent way to do this drawing lines, although I admit a lot of the like Sudoku technique line pictures end up causing me to be more confused. But this is definitely an alternating inference chain around this sort of string of things phrased in some coherent way that I'm not capable of. But in any event, that definitely means that one of these, neither of these is an 8. And so since that can't be an 8, that has to be an 8. Which is then going to sort of unwind this. I feel like this would have been very satisfying if I had understood what happened at any point in this puzzle. But I never quite got to the point where I understood what was happening in a way beyond some sort of ugly case checking. but I don't think that, I think there is something going on in the puzzle. I don't think it's intended as ugly case checking. It's just all I was ever able to sort of mentally unravel out of it. So yeah, one of these is 1. Okay, so we've got all of that. I mean, I like understanding the classic Sudoku stuff. I feel like this is sort of tantalizingly close. And well, I'm never going to understand these things if I don't do some of these things. Anyway, that does place the 9 up here. And that places the 9 here. Means one of those 2 is a 9. I can't use anti-night. It means one of the, it means that's a 9 exactly. This sort of feels like oh, I'm right there to sort of get there, but can't quite get the last bit. But I will eventually understand it, possibly. So that's a 9. But I wouldn't have done the puzzle if I didn't think the puzzle was going to be that sort of thing. So the puzzle was the kind of thing that I thought it was going to be, but then I couldn't quite get it. But it was very clear what kind of thing the puzzle was. Let's see. Okay, so where are we? 7 in row 2. Right, I can't put 7 there anymore. Okay, so now that's a 7. So that's not a 7 anymore. So that's not a 6 anymore. Let's see, 2 in box 9. I agree, 2 in box 9 is now there. So 2 in this box is in one of those places. Let's see. Knowing that there's a 9 on the tip of this thermo doesn't help me as much as one would hope. Let's see. Can this really be a 6? Probably. You could do stuff like this. 3, 4, 5 is definitely living a horizontal life over here. Let's see. This little 2-cell thermo is funny to me. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of information about this thermo either. I was trying to look at these 3 cells and see if there was something fancy going on with them, but if there is, I don't see it. Row 9, column 5 is an 8. I agree. That is where the 8 goes. Oh, that's so satisfying, Mixo. Mixo said it goes from over 300 solutions to 1 with this 2-cell thermo. That is always very satisfying. Let's see. 7 in row 3. So yeah, one of those 2 is a 6. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. One of these 2 is a 6, and both of them make that a 7, is Kurobon's point. If this is a 6, that's a 7 immediately. If this is a 6, that's a 7, and now the 7 is placed in this box over here. That's tricky. So that's not a 7, so that's not a 6. So we've got that now. Oh yeah, 3 in column 6 can't go here. So the 3 in the column definitely comes over here, points out. It's Tete. One of those is a 3. I was about to corner mark 8 in one of these cells, but that doesn't actually work because there's already an 8 in the box. But other than that, it works out well. Unfortunately, that could be a 3, which is a little bit irksome. Yeah, 3 does look down here. That's good. One of those two is a 3, so that's not a 3, so that's not a 4, so that's not a 5. So now that's a 5-6 pair. Okay, yeah, that's the trick. This is a 5-6 pair, and so they both see that cell as the trick. Because whichever of these is a 6, that one can't be. So that one's always a 7. So we've got that at least. So now that's a 7 by sudoku, which makes that a 3. Yeah, I learned that trick from a Jovi puzzle a long time ago. Speaking of, I haven't seen any new Jovi puzzles. Does anyone know, are there still new Jovi puzzles and I've just not been seeing them, or have there just not been Jovi puzzles recently? I thought that was a 7 because I didn't think there's anywhere else for 7 in box 8 by Sudoku. It's like, oh no, what did I do? So one of these two is a 7, because I can't put the 7 there because I can't put an 8 there. Jovi took a break from Sudoku. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, where is 6 in box 9? That's a good way to ask the question. 6 in box 9 certainly isn't here because there's a 5-6 pair. So 6 in box 9 has to be there, which makes that a 5 and a 4, which makes that a 3. So now we know where 5 is in this box, and it's there. So that's a 6. This is the other 3, 4. This is not a 5. That's not a 3. So this isn't a 4 anymore. So this is an 8 now because it needs to be bigger than 6. This is a 5, and that's a 4 just by Sudoku on where 4 goes in that box. So that's a 3, and that's a 4. Okay, so we can do some fillings and zizzes. So that is a 6 and a 5, and we've got our 2, 3, 7 over here. Somehow that 3, 7, 8 didn't help as much as I hoped it would. Okay. Mark, Chameleon. So, sorry. It's Tay asked why Mark keeps coming up. And the reason is because Chameleon made a script that will sort of like auto center mark cells for you, not sort of intelligently, just by filling stuff in. And because it's called marking, the mark pops up. It is very handy for doing these sorts of things. Oh, I'm being encouraged to mark this thermo. Oh, yes. Yes, that is a good idea. I should probably fill in that this cell has a value because it is now a naked single. So that's a 4 and that's a 3. That seems like a very good idea. So now I can fill in these cells. Well, that certainly can't be a 7. Let's fill in these cells, actually. Okay, so this is at most a 5, so this certainly isn't a 6 at the very least. It's 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, what about these cells? Okay, so these are all naked singles now. 5, 7, 6. No 7 there, no 5 there, and if there's no 5 there, this isn't a 4, so it's a 2. So a 7 and a 3 and a 2. Just placed a 2 there, very unexcitingly, admittedly. 2. No 2 over there. Those two are the same 4, 6. Yeah, we can certainly mark this thermo as well. Okay, so this certainly isn't a 3. And this certainly isn't a 5. So that is a 5, actually, if you look at the row, which makes that a 4 and a 3 and a 5 and a 4 and a 6 and a 4 and a 6 and a 5 and a 4 and a 6. And now I think we just mark the rest of the grid and get a 1, 3, 7, 6, 5, 3, 8, 3, 7, 7, 8, 1, and 4. Was exactly what I was looking for, but it was a little too smart for me. I'm going to have to look. AFK sent me a different way of looking at it that I'm going to have to look at, because this is exactly the kind of stuff I'm always sort of trying to understand. Sort of like, and certainly it's clear, like, it's one of those things where if you don't quite understand these sorts of things that involve like crunchy bi-value logic, it's always very clear how to bifurcate through it. I would love to see a video on this, Mixo. I think that would be really cool. I would be happy to see it. I always enjoy videos on some of these like weird advanced Sudoku techniques that come up, because my brain sometimes can't quite grasp them without sort of like having careful, slow explanation. But I enjoyed this setup here, and it's really accomplished with like some very very nice sort of symmetrical, nice looking clues. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment, but see you all in just a moment. Hello again, everyone. Let's do a pencil puzzle next. Let me nudge the grid just slightly. No, that's not it. 1 second. There we go. There we go. So this is almost a regular Masu, except it's not quite. So this is called a dual Masu. So we need to draw 2 non-branching loops through the centers of cells. So something like this would be a non-branching loop through the centers of some cells, or that, or whatever. All circles must be visited by at least one. Sorry, I skipped the statement. The loops may cross each other on straight line segments, but each loop can't cross itself. So we'll also have maybe like this loop. Okay, so that is so that's sort of the basic thing that we're trying to do. And so then we have all of our circles here. And so all circles must be visited by at least one loop. And loops must turn on black circles and travel straight through on either side. So, for example, that would be turning, but I cannot do this on a black circle because I've not traveled straight on this other side. And then white circles, the line has to go straight through, but it can't keep going straight in both sides. So it could turn there and keep going straight on this side, or it could turn here and keep going straight on that side. Both of those are allowed, although, as you will see, one of those actually breaks the other rule. Okay, so I think my plan is that I'm going to use... Well, actually, I'm just going to start here, and then I'm going to point out that at this black circle, I know I have to have a loop do that because of the fact that it needs to extend at least 2 and 90-degree directions. And this one, the same thing happens, but it has to be the other loop through here in this one. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill in all the cells where I know a similar thing. And I'm going to use green when I don't know what loop it is. So we have like those, for example, that has to come that way. This has to come this way. This has to come this way, and it has to keep going because they have to intersect. Because there's no sort of transverse meetings. So I think we at least, oh, right. And the one, of course, all the white ones along the border also, it has to go straight through there. This one has to go straight through there, and that has to be one thing. And so it has to turn on each side of that. So this is one contiguous loop piece. Okay, and so now this black circle, it now can't turn down because if it did, it would not be obeying the black circle rule. So it has to go up like that. And these two are... Actually, I don't think I know if those two are different colors immediately. This one I know does that. Yeah, those two are different colors for sure. Okay, let's see. See, J40 says 2 adjacent black dots need to have a loop going away from each other. Yeah, because every black dot only has one loop going through it. Because the thing the loops are expressly not allowed to do is I can't do that. That is expressly not allowed. Sorry, I did that in the wrong colors, but you understand what I mean. Oh, it could have turned down and crossed. You're right. Sorry. Right. It can turn down and cross is possible. Yeah, you're completely right there. But yeah, I can never, if you want, I can never do that, is basically what J40's point is because if I do that, I break the black rule immediately. So there's like a little X between these, meaning that I can't cross it. And then by the same border logic, I get the sort of vertically extending, or vertically or horizontally or whatever extending things. Okay, so that's a very nice observation. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, is there anything I can do with this? Like, it feels like this was the intended break-in spot because this was sort of a gimme, but I don't see what I'm supposed to do with these white circles. Like, I know either the blue goes that way or the red goes up. Okay, so I know this circle is occupied, I guess, is... Oh, no, that's not true. Sorry, I retract that claim. It's either the red goes up like this. No, it is true, right? Either, because this circle has to be occupied. And so I'm either occupying it by going that way or by going... Oh, no, I could go this way. Never mind. Sorry. I could go that way. Never mind. But the thing I can't do is these can't both be gotten by red, and they can't both be gotten by blue. Because if, say, this were horizontal and vertical, I would have closed the red loop, which I can't do because there's a crossing up there. If this one's horizontal, then this one's also horizontal. I guess, yeah, maybe the easier way to just say it is if this is vertical, then this is vertical, and if this is horizontal, then this is horizontal, I think. Although I guess one of these could be a... Can one of these be a plus? Maybe neither of them could be a plus. I am not quite sure. I will agree with Josh's statement that this loop can't go up, because if this loop tries to go up, it's forced to go up this far, and then it's forced to keep going up because this is a white circle, and now I've broken the white circle rule. So, in fact, this has to turn down. And now if I turn this way, I close the loop, so I have to turn that way. Yeah, I think a plus is fine. And now these two are actually different loops. It is worth noting. So maybe I need a secondary color just for this, just to sort of keep track of it, even though I don't know which loop is which, but just to sort of keep track. And I don't know if this green is the same or not. This one also turns up, I agree. Same idea. Oh, I never actually did this, but this black dot has had to go up the whole time. Because of where it's located. So these are different colors. Right, and I know it doesn't cross that way. Oh, so yeah, pink can't go up because that would break the rule of this black cell. So if pink can't go up and pink can't go down because pink and green are different, then in fact pink must continue on into this black cell, which means that this then really is green. Like that. Oh, okay. Now this green has to continue for at least that far because this green has to go somewhere. Green could go down from the dot. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, this green could go this way. Yeah, you're completely right. Sorry. The pink is still right, but yeah, the green could go down and connect down here. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, but we've at least got some stuff. Let's see. If these are vertical, if either of these are vertical, they're both vertical and they're both pink. Yeah, okay. Amnosti points out this can't go up because if it does, it's forced to turn into this black dot, and that breaks. Because remember, I'm not allowed to have my loops meet at a 90-degree angle. So this, in fact, goes down, which then forces this to turn that way, which then, as Isabella says, forces that to go up. So we have that. Okay. Annoyingly, this white dot can be vertical because it's allowed to cross that one. This loop can't do this by uniqueness. How do I know it doesn't go through AFK? Oh, sorry, Joao, not AFK. Right, this can't connect left anymore. So this needs to connect right, which forces that crisscrossing. Like that. And so I can sort of, again, give these sort of a, like, separate pink and green color because they cross. Continue straight through white and then turn. But you can't turn there. So this green turns up, in fact. By rules. So now we've got a sort of X at the back of this, so we can extend this out. And that means this one can't go that way. This one has to go that way. This can't go left anymore, so it has to go right. Okay, so we've got a bunch of stuff there. Okay, this can't go left anymore because of that, so it has to go right. Why couldn't it go left? Oh, it could go left. You're right. It could absolutely go left. This one, though, can't go right because it would go straight through a black cell. So, wait. No, it can't go right because it would be forced to do that, and that breaks the black rule. So it has to go that way. Oh. It could stay straight. Oh, it could stay straight, right. Right, this can't turn that way. Because it would, Right. These two are legitimately the same color because of this pink line. This is Isabella's point. So I think my point before is correct, but I have no idea if I understood this before or not. But these two are legitimately the same color, so they can't cross. And so therefore, this can't come this way. So it really is true, regardless of whether I actually understood it before or not, that that has to do that. Uh, there being two lines does indeed make this tricky. Uh, Okay, and so this is the opposite color of this regardless of how it goes. So there's going to be a crossing in one direction or another. Uh, can pink really go this way? There's no way, right? If this pink goes this way, it just gets... oh, no, sorry. If pink goes this way, that becomes pink is what happens. That's okay. Uh, I can't connect these vertically is J40's point, because if I connect them vertically, then it has to go up. But now this one has not turned above, so it has to turn below, and it has to turn in a line it can't. So these actually can't connect vertically, which means that indeed this one is horizontal. And now we have to keep in mind that means these two are different colors. So this one does have to turn, but it can't turn down because they're the different colors. So this one has to turn up. Like that. Okay. This can't go up or down, right? This cell right here, because if it goes down, it breaks black. And if it goes up, it breaks the fact that this is one segment. So I think this needs to continue in that direction. Wait, did I do that wrong? I think I did all that wrong again. Because I said these two are no, I was right. These two are different colors. Sorry, I thought I said they were the same colors. No, they're different colors. Okay. Uh, it's not row 2, column 9 that can't do that, Josh. It's this cell. Uh, this cell can't turn down and it can't turn up because these two are different colors, right? Oh, but it could cross. Wait, can this go up? Is that the point? So I'm going to need to actually like make this actually a different color just for my sanity. Yeah, this can't keep going straight. Oh, but it can continue straight through there. Okay, so like there's like a pink X here, I suppose. So it does need to turn. And if it goes down, then it goes all the way down, I suppose, is the point. Okay. But row 3, column 9 continues. Right. It can't go down. It can't turn up, right? Because if this turns up, it does break. It breaks pink. So this always always keeps going. Uh, okay. If this goes down, it's a crossing. Right. If green goes up here, it's trapped. So this green has to actually go at least one left because this whole area would be boxed off and green couldn't get out. Yeah, I agree with Isabella. The segment in here can't be green because it would crash into green or crash into pink. So the segment in here, there's only one and it's definitely pink. Okay, and so if it's pink, it can't be vertical because of what it would end up crashing into the black cell. Okay, so so it actually is horizontal. Okay. This pink can't continue to the border because I can't have the colors can't meet on the border, and it can't go down because two colors can't ever be in a black circle. So the pink actually turns up. Uh-oh, I broke it. Isn't it broken now? Oh, no. The point is this, I didn't actually know that this was green. Right, sorry. The keeping track of what I know about the colors is a little bit crazy. Yes, this line can still be pink, right? It's just a color of unknown colorosity. Maybe I should have just like picked a different pair of colors for every little intersection to try and keep track of it. Anyway, yeah, I don't know exactly what is happening. But I do know this has to continue, and it's always going to become pink. Because this either immediately turns into pink or it comes up here and then pink runs into it anyway. So I guess the point is pink is going to run into this line no matter what happens. So therefore this line has to be pink if I just sort of contemplate the nature and purpose of reality. I feel like there's an elegant way to say why that has to be true, but it is true. So that means that this comes down and comes down, and therefore comes down and comes down. And therefore this pink continues over here, and therefore this is pink. I believe it can still go up. Oh, you're right. It could still go up. You're completely right. Right. It could go up through there. That would be possible. I have been saved by chat many times today, which is very nice. This can't go up, though. That hasn't been able to go up for forever, right? This cell has had to go down basically since the beginning of time, right? Because we know these two are the same color, and it has to turn. So this has had to go down since time immemorial, right? Except I don't know whether these are the same color or not, so I'm going to introduce a third color there just to remind myself that this can be an intersection. Yeah, we'll do all the colors. Okay, yeah. So MJ points out I can't do this horizontally, because if I do it horizontally, then what color is it? And it can't. Basically, the problem is it can't be green because it can't get out, and it can't be pink because it can't get out. So just I create two loop ends in an area that I can't get two loop ends out of. So I have to. So this has to be vertical. Which is actually going to force it to be pink. This didn't turn on this side, so it has to turn on this side. Oh, could purple get out? Sorry, actually, sorry. Purple could get out. I could have one purple get out down and the other purple get out up. Oh boy, yeah, this whole two-loop thing is confusing. If I was attempting to solve this by myself, I would have broken this puzzle 1,700 times by now. Yeah. I've done a lot of like 2-line puzzles, but I have never like I've never done a rule set where sort of my intuition so fought with the things. Uh, uh, yeah, this certainly is pink. At least we can mark that. Uh, uh, okay, Isabella is contemplating or encouraging me to think about what happens if this goes up. Which is that this continues and then these two meet. Or maybe not. Maybe they're opposite colors. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the color thing is really difficult to keep track of. It's okay. I was also confused with the colors. Uh, 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 row 5, column 2 can't continue straight. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if this continues straight, this whole cluster really is the right color. And so Waze is pointing out if this continues straight, now there's no way that these don't join. And so this doesn't continue straight, so it turns down, which must mean it crosses this. So this at least was really green. Yeah, we can sort of mix in an orange here just to remind ourselves that this is orange. Okay, so row 3, column 2 now has to go up because of that, I believe. So that's going to pull my pink back over here. This is going to cross over like that. Okay, so the greens really do match up, right? Because there's no way that this green doesn't join this green, right? In fact, if this turns down, then this turns down. Oh, no. Sorry. If this turns down, then orange comes over here and this becomes orange. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I think it's actually very possible that it's orange. Never mind the Right. I guess the point is these can't join, right? Because if these join, then it definitely forces Yeah, if these join, I create an enclosed area with 3 loop ends. Right, is the problem, right? If I connect these, I have 3 loop ends in an area, and that doesn't work because you always have to pair them up. So regardless of what happens, these never join. And that means that this really does cross the orange, right? Oh no, orange could cross. Oh dagnammit, yeah, right, because these could connect and then the orange could escape. And they could join. Right. The escape ruins the loop parity business. Don't I know this circle is vertical? Because I can't have something cross horizontally into this black dot. Because that would break, because black dots only have one color. So this can't be horizontal. This has to be vertical, right? And if it's vertical, it's definitely orange, right? Am I crazy? That feels correct. And so it turns here. If the left green is orange, row 1, column 6 is trapped. Ah, right. This needs to connect. Right. This just can't connect. Wait. Okay. So yeah. So here's the way to say it. This either connects this way, in which case it's green, or it goes down, in which case it crosses and it's green. So this does one of two things, and in both cases it's really green. So orange really is pink. Right? Do we agree with that? I think that's right. I think I said that correctly. Okay, we agree. Okay, so now, oh no, this could still be a crisscrossing business. So like this whole like constellation up here, other than these things, which we have no idea what they are, these I know like basically nothing about. Maybe I should like remake this in gray and remake this in gray, just so I don't think I know anything about the color. Right. Now this pink needs to get out. Now that we've genuinely colored all of this, and now pink's only way out is that. Very good. That was a fun surprise. Okay, so now this just can't go left because there's nothing it could be, right? It couldn't be green, and it couldn't be pink if it goes left. So this needs to go right, I believe. If I understood that correctly. Right. This hasn't turned yet, and it can't turn into the black dot, so it has to turn into itself. Good. And so this this is now forced to be that, right? I think. Oh, and this circle is certainly horizontal. And as a horizontal circle, it assuredly has to be pink. Because if it was green, it would crash into green, right? So I think this is a horizontal pink circle which crosses this and lets us color that thing is green. And this thing is pink. And so that means this thing is green. Okay, good. I believe. Oh, and so now we finally actually made it to this cell. And so now this green is the same as that green. So this green can't turn up anymore. So the green has to turn down. So the pink has to turn down and down. So now this circle has to be green because there's pink on both sides. Well, so much for blue and red being the real colors. Uh-oh, did I break it? Oh no. The green-black circle on the right is broken. Uh-oh. Oh, it's because I didn't know what color this was, right? This, when I colored it, this was an unknown color. And it just inherited green. Because this green goes down, but that doesn't tell me whether this is green or not. And so, yeah, so the thing that we actually learn about this, yeah, I don't think it had to. I think, yeah, I think that was a lie. Okay, so this pink is crossing either there or there. This is a turn, right, because of the white circle. Okay, so it has to turn left, right? It can't turn right. There's no way. So I think that really does cross. Right, so this just can't be green, is the point. Because if this is green, then I don't have any way to make it work, because it would have to turn up and then it breaks immediately. So this is actually pink, right? That's sort of the thing I missed before, and so it's pink doing that with the green coming down. Right. This comes up now and has to go that way. If there's a vertical pink, now this white circle is broken. Is that what's happening? Because if I make this vertical, then my pink stripe goes this far, and then it goes horizontal, or it continues in both directions. So therefore, this is horizontal. Okay, so that means this pink doesn't go up. This pink has to come down. So this comes over here, I believe. This pink has to turn down now, right? It can't continue into the green. These can't close, right? I agree. And this can't turn into the black. That would be bad. So what is the black circle? The black circle needs to be green now because it can't be pink. And it's going to do it that way, right? Oh, yes. Preemptive reminder that we can make these, like, say, gray. And orange just before the inevitable happens and we repeat the sins of our fathers or whatever. Although I think actually these two have to be the same color, right? Because either this green comes down or this green turns. Oh, maybe not. Maybe there's some really convoluted way that these sort of crisscross or something. I'm not actually sure I see how it would turn out the other way, but it could possibly. This can't be vertical of any kind, right? Because it would cross into this and that wouldn't work. So this is horizontal for sure. Yes, this loop end is stranded in a world where it has to go down. I agree. I still can't close this pink loop, as Laura sort of warned me earlier. So I have to be a little bit cognizant of that. Sigurius says this has to be horizontal. Right, because if it's vertical, then pink becomes blue and it's all straight, right? That is very good spot from Gary. And yeah, if pink and blue become the same color and it becomes much too long of going straight. So this becomes horizontal, and if it's horizontal, it has to be red. Which now means that this... Right, this can't cross again, right? Because again, if this crosses, it becomes blue. And so, therefore, it turns left, right? Therefore, it turns left, right. Yeah, I think that's true. And the green continues down to there. Do we agree with that? I think that was right. And yeah, this now... The blue now sort of can't get out this way, so the blue has to get out this way. Good remembering that we worked that out way at the beginning. This can't close, or we'll have a very little pink loop. So we have that at least comes down. This could come down or cross over there. I think the crossing is more likely, but I don't think I know. Right. This can't... Green has to become red. If green doesn't become red, then green becomes not red and not blue at the same time. Because this green either becomes red or crosses red, but if it crosses red, it's neither red nor blue. So green actually becomes red, which means blue becomes pink. Like that. This green can't go up, so the green continues. This green also can't go up, so the green continues. The pink can't go up because it would close, so the pink continues there, at least that far, I believe. Let's see. This puzzle's much more nuts than I thought it was going to be when I started it, I admit. Uh, so what on earth is happening to resolve this? Uh, uh, can't this go up and become green with this being a crossing? Is that not okay, MJ? Because I still don't know what color this is. Sadly, yeah, this gray and that gray are different. I guess I can make this gray red just so that we can keep track of the fact that we don't know what color it is. Okay, and there aren't any white circles that haven't turned yet, which is my usual metric for thing I'm probably forgetting if I'm solving one of these puzzles. If this pink continues this way, it forces this pink to go this way and forces that to crisscross over. I don't know if that's a problem. Oh, can pink actually like connect down here? How on earth, if this pink becomes orange, can I possibly get pink out again? I don't think so. So I don't think this pink can go down, at least. Right? If this pink goes down, then it goes over here, and now there's no way it gets out, right? So at least this pink doesn't go that way, which means that it does go this way, which means that red's actually pink. I think that was correct. So now pink actually becomes orange because of this this column. So we get all of that. So this is indeed green. And this pink must turn here. Missed the black. Oh, I just reproduced from memory incorrectly. Thank you. My memory is not always the best, as you have undoubtedly seen. This does turn down, though. This is green now. Sorry, is green. Okay, and so this pink must turn here, which means this green must go down, which means this green must continue over this way. And now these can't connect, because if those two connect, the loop closes, right? So this actually has to cross all the way over here. I think that's all correct. So this is now crossing either that way or that way. I'm not quite sure how I know which one yet. Okay, that's the point, I think. If this pink goes left, I think it forces the green loop No, I was going to say to close inappropriately, but I think it actually doesn't force the green loop to close inappropriately. These are the two ends I can't connect, and these two ends I can't connect. So yeah, these two I have to remember I cannot connect those two. Uh, hmm. If I connect these two, I close the green loop and I still have loop segment, right? Uh, uh, yeah, I don't want two separate green loops. And if I connect these two, then the green's going to have to cross green. So in fact, what I think I know is that these two are connecting and these two are connecting, I think is what I believe in my heart of hearts. And likewise in pink, this needs to get to there, which, funnily enough, I think is going to mean it's going to have to cross green twice to get there. No matter how it does it, it's going to have to cross green twice. Because the X's are effectively connected, and we're going to have to connect the X to X line. Okay, let's see. Isabella is suggesting if pink goes down here, that it is going to break. And I agree, although it's kind of messy, but I do agree that it is not going to end well. Yeah, this green is either going up here or it's going up here. If this green goes up here. Okay, that's the point. Yeah, that's the thing that I think is easiest for me to see. If this green goes on and does this, let me just draw it in black. That forces this green up because remember these aren't connecting. And now that's cut off pink. Right? If this green goes this way, it cuts off pink because these two can't connect. And so I can't actually cross them. So that green doesn't do that. That green goes up. At the very least. And now, again, if this turns right, exactly the same thing happens. If this goes right, again, these two can't connect, so this needs to go up, but that, again, cuts off pink. So I think this can't go right either. I think this just has to go down. At which point, then this pink needs to get out this way, so the green comes over down this way. And now this is the only spot pink can cross, because if pink grows over here, it's done for. So the pink comes up through here. The green crosses through here. I connect the pink in the way that makes it make a loop, and I connect the green in the way that makes it make the loop. And boy, that was difficult for me. We succeeded, though, Thank you to chat for your repeated catching me on doing this. Now, here I have two of these in the bucket, and I thought I was like, oh, probably we'll do them both because it'll probably be like 10 minutes per puzzle. But that was very much not the case. But I did very much enjoy it, even though it did break my head and all of my limited intuition for Matthew. I feel like this is an instance where having done Matthew puzzles before might have actively hurt me in attempting to do this puzzle. But that was very cool. I enjoyed that a lot. I was not able to heart it because it wasn't a Sudoku, but I would have hearted it. But anyway, I am going to take a moment and take a break, and I'll be right back. It's Tay-Tay. I would say no. Normally, Matthew puzzles can be hard, but usually they are not this hard because usually there's only one loop to keep track of. So I'd say usually they're a good deal faster than this because usually there's only one loop, and so you don't have to worry about things like, oh, maybe it's a crossing. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. Next up, we have a 10 lines puzzle from Afraid Not. We have a single 10 line here, which we have here. Yeah, I was telling AFK, I've had this in the bucket for forever, and then what always happens is I go and look for it, and then I get distracted and end up doing a Matthew puzzle or something. Or the last time it happened, I think I ended up getting distracted by a different AFK puzzle. So we'll try this. So what we have to do here is we have to divide this puzzle divide this line entirely into groups of digits that sum to 10. Well, I intended it to be in the bucket. That might explain why I always got distracted when looking for it, AFK. But let us. Well, I've tried to. I've always kind of wanted something like that Jay Dyer puzzle, Jormungandr, or whatever the thing that everyone always makes fun of me for not pronouncing correctly. That was just like a Jay Dyer deconstruction with a single region sum line. I've always kind of wanted to see a Jay Dyer deconstruction that's just a single 10 line, but I've never come anywhere close to making it work. I did finally set a 10-line J-Dyer deconstruction, at least, not that long ago. I set it on stream. I guess it was one of the first on-stream puzzles we set since I've started doing most of my setting on stream. Uh, anyway, so the secret applies, which is that the sum of the digits in this column, and indeed in this box, is 45, which is 4 lots of 10 and 5 left over. And so sort of there's 4 sums to 10 and then 5 left over. And so you might think, okay, well, that means either this digit's a 5 or I put 2 low digits here. Like, say I put a 2 here and a 3 here, and that seems to work. Except it has a pretty big problem, which is that now I'm obligated to turn these 7 cells into 4 sums to 10. And that's pretty difficult because that means one of them has to be a 1-cell sum to 10 if you actually look at it, because I can't make 4 sets of at least 2 cells. So anyway, so the point of all of this is that through combining these two ideas, this digit is always a 5 and MicroStudy is happy. So we get to bring out Zach for that. Boop-boop-a-doop. Woo. Boop-doop-a-doop. Wow. Boop boop ba doop. Whoa. Ba doop boo doop ba doop boo doop boo doop boo doop. Thank you, Zach. And we get to do exactly the same thing starting at the other end of the line, where that is a 5. And I don't know if this is going to be relevant. It probably will. But all of these are dominoes that sum to 10, and I know that these are little digits, so this is a sum to 10 itself. So I'm just going to mark that along the line as, oops. There we go. Maybe that's a little aggressive. Let's do orange. Okay, maybe I'm not going to color these yet, actually. I think I'm not going to color these yet. I think I'm going to just do them as orange dominoes for the moment. Orange, 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 orange. But I'm guessing we're going to know that 2 of them are the same soon enough. So those 2 are different, and they're different from that one, at the very least, is one thing I see. Also these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, by the way, same reasoning, but I don't know that this is a 3-cell. No, I do know this is a 3-cell sum, because if this were a 4-cell sum, these would sum to at least 11, and that's not going to work. So indeed, that is also a 3-cell sum. I don't know if it's the same one as that immediately, but I probably do if I think about it hard enough. Okay, so yeah, I do agree these have to be a 2-cell sum, and the way I've at long last come to prove that is that if I make this a 3-cell sum, then these 6 cells sum to 20, and that's a big problem. Because 6 cells always sum to at least 21. So that's always a 2-cell sum. And for the same reason, actually, sorry, no, this, if these, there's no possible way that these sum to 10, but I'm trying to double check the nice, easy way for it. I don't immediately see it. Those do have a 5, so maybe they do actually have to sum to. If they do sum to 10, that'll be really weird. Well, it could be that these 2 sum to 10, and then there's a 5 going vertically, which would be very nice. That is true. I agree with Emily. We've used a 1, 2, 3, 4 in each of these, so these are both high. So these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. And so these are one low digit and one high digit for what it's worth. And they do sum to 15, that's true. So this is certainly low, by the way, because of that whole, this being a 6, 7, 8, 9 thing. I don't know that this isn't like a 3-cell sum, but I do know that this digit is low. Let's see. And so I was looking before at like these cells, like just trying to sort of appreciate. Okay, so these are different sums, all different sums to 10, I think, actually, because they're either in the same box or vertical. Oh, sorry, no, this one's not a sum to 10. Dang it, Zeta. Never mind. Oh yeah. Selena's right. This digit, where does it show up in this box? This digit in box 7 shows up in one of the domino sums. So the thing it sums to 10 with is already in this box, the high digit. So in other words, this is not a 1-cell sum, it's a 2-cell sum. Or sorry, this is not a 2-cell sum, it's a 3-cell sum. And it can't be a 4-cell sum because that would be too big. So we can sort of continue sort of percolating here. And I can't actually have a 4 in here if you want, because a 4 would make this too big. And this can't be an 8 or a 9 because these sum to at least 3. And there's definitely a 1 in here for what it's worth. So that is pretty handy. So do these have to be a 2-cell sum? So if these were not a 2-cell, well, I guess maybe here's the way to do it. These cells sum to at least 21, so these sum to at least 11. Okay, maybe this is not quite getting there. It's like these certainly can't be as small as 3, 4, but it is true that does use all the lows, because there's definitely a low here and there's definitely a low here. So I'm going to corner mark that I know that there's a 4 in one of these places, and that means these are also from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's not a 5 there. So there's, in fact, a 5 here. I guess I could have done that by sudoku if I wanted. Okay, so either... And likewise, the 9 isn't here. And the 9's not over here. Hey, Nell. Oh, right. These two sum to 15, remember? So this, as soon as this was only 6 or 7, this is 8 or 9. But actually, if you just look at the row math, that is 20, 35, and therefore these two sum to 10, and so therefore we can catch up those two digits. Oh, right, the 5 could be here. Sorry, you're right. Sorry, the 5 could be there as long as that's a 1. That's okay. By the way, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I should certainly mark that. And so the red sum is down here somewhere. So either this is the red sum, or that's red, and that's the same low digit that goes there. Which both annoyingly seem possible. row 7, column 8, 9 equals row 8, 9, column 3. Yeah, these two I know aren't those. They aren't those. Yeah. So the point is, by Sudoku, the high digit of this lands on here. So these are the same. Okay, thank you, Isabella. That was a good spot. So let's make those blue. For what it is worth. Are we sure about that, Garion? Are you assuming we know that these are the same 5 sum or that these are different 5 sums? Oh, they can't be different 5 sums. These are now the same because they both see the low digit of blue. Okay, so that's huge. So these two 5 sums are actually the same because they both see the low digit of blue. Okay, and so so that is rather big. Okay. So I'm now unraveling the statement about where the low digit from these cells goes. Why can't it go there? I don't think that I don't think I understand that yet. Let's see. Well, red circle, I don't know anything about the red circle 10 sum here, right? Uh uh Oh, right. If I put the low digit here, then the high digit is red circle. Okay, right. Okay, yeah. So this right. These two things are completely devoid from each other and they're not there. So so the low digit therefore is that one. Okay, I agree with that because it's not blue. So I can orange that digit. Okay, so that digit is one of these, and one of these is orange. Do I know whether this or this is the 10 sum with red circle? I don't think I do yet, do I? Let's see. Yeah, I know one of these is orange. I know two of these are blue. I know this is neither blue nor orange. This is neither blue nor orange, but they... Yeah, like this is one of those two, but I don't know which one. Okay, so J40 is asking if this is a two-cell sum, which 10 sum is it? And it's not orange because we know one of these two digits is orange. It's not blue because it's looking at a blue digit. It's not the vertical one, so it would be that one. And so if this is a two-cell sum, it is that two-cell sum. And that's a problem because that would imply the existence of a two-cell 10 sum in row 7 of box 7, and there definitely isn't one. So this isn't a two-cell sum. It is a three-cell sum, which actually means that these are the other digits over here. And so these are all 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it's not a 1, so that's not a 9 for what it's worth because of that over there. And so actually this sum is two cells because if it's three cells, because of the 1 over here, these sum to at least 5. So this is, in fact, a two-cell sum. And now we can go ahead, and I feel confident making these red, which means that's not a 1. Oh, hey, Lasef. I hope you're enjoying Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con in like 2006 or something. It's been a long time, but I did once go to Comic-Con. Back when I was friends with a Marvel artist, which was cool. So yeah, so I agree that, yes, we've got all the lows once we consider that there's an orange low over here. So this is high, and these two are low. Okay, and so now this isn't red because its high digit isn't there. Because this digit sees the red high digit. So that one's red, and this one can be green. Okay. So yeah, so the rest of the box requires 4 two-cell sums, as Selena points out, because if I try and make any sums longer than 4, oh, no, sorry, there's a hanging out digit. Very sadly, the hanging out digit, I think, breaks that, because that digit is before the end. I think if this didn't have this kink in it, I think what Selena said would be true. Oh, this, no, sorry, the 4 does not look down. I just know that one of these is 4. Okay, so that actually tells me 2 dominoes that I know aren't 1, 9 within this column, for what it's worth. So funnily enough, that tells me the 1 is in one of these 3 cells. Row 6, column 2 has a color. It's not orange or red, at the very least. These aren't red. Uh, row 8, column 2 is the last low in the digit, or last low in the box that doesn't have a color, so it's green. Oops. Okay, I agree with that. So these are actually a green-orange pair. And this is blue, because it's not green, orange, or red. And therefore, this is... Oh, this is orange. Oh, sorry. This is naively orange or... Oh, no, it just is orange or green, right? Sadly, I don't think I know which one it is. It's orange or green. I was going to try and use the fact that I knew that orange and green sum to 5, so blue and red sum to 5, to argue that this couldn't make the sum orange-green or blue-red, but the sum is never going to be orange-green or blue-red. Yeah, I do know blue isn't 4. I think the low red can be here. Oh, no, sorry. The low red has to be here, actually, because there's the low red's over there. This isn't the low red. That's not the low red. So the low red is in one of these cells. But I don't necessarily know that the high red, that this is a low red, high red 10 sum. It could be a 3-cell 10 sum. Yeah, these are red, blue, and 5. These are everything that is not red. Okay, I want to contemplate Selena's point from earlier about what happens if I try and make this a 3-cell 10 sum. And what happens if I try and make this a 3-cell 10 sum is that if I take the sum of these and these and this, I know I'm getting at least 36. Okay, so here's how to say it. The sum of these cells is at least 36. So the sum of these cells is at least 32. However, it's also at most 30, because the absolute most that you can make 6 cells sum to is 30. So it has to be exactly 30, which means that all of these have to do that, because 2 cells along a 10 line stacked like that can't sum to more than 30. Okay, so there's Selena's point. Okay, and so now the question is, can this be a 3-cell 10 sum? And Selena's point is no, because these 2 cells already sum to more than 10. And so I can't include them both in a 10 sum. So that's a 2-cell 10 sum as well. And now none of these are red. So one of these is the high red, for what it's worth. It would, of course, be most interesting if that was that one, because then this would be the low red. Oh, the 5 is just placed. Right. Okay, that digit is the 5, because the 5 is... yeah, I guess that would have been another argument, that this couldn't be a 3-cell 10-sum, would have been to place the 5 before doing that. Therefore, this is the high red, and this is the low red, because it's a 2-cell sum. So this is 6, 7, 8. In fact, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. I guess I don't really need the red circles to indicate that the red digit is red. And so that means that these are each... that this is a 3-cell sum, for sure, and these are low. 2, 3, 4. Thank you. That's not 1, so that's not 4. And indeed, this is the last low digit of the row. So that's not 4. And these are all 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's not the low red anymore, so that is the low red. Sorry, that is the low red. Up there. So now the high red in this box is actually placed here, right? Just by sudoku, because that's not the high red. So this isn't a 5 anymore. So now the 5 is horizontal, I suppose. Yeah, the 5 is in one of these 2 cells, because that's not 5 sorry, I did the wrong thing there. I was supposed to take off 5, and I added 4 instead. So one of these 2 is 5 now. And those 5s look over and tell me that there's a 5 up here. But I only have one low digit left. So I can't put 5 in one of these 2 spots, or I need too many 5 digits for that. This isn't blue because I know these 2 sum to 10. But I can't put 5 in either of these cells because it would force me to use too many more low digits in the box. So therefore, that's 5. And these 2 are definitely a sum to 10. Which then means that these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 3 are a sum to 10. Okay, means this is a 6, 7, 8, 9 again, because I've used the last 1, 2, 3, 4 somewhere in here. I think all of that was right, hopefully. Oh, it's a blue sum to 10? Let's see, it's not green, it's not red. How do I know it is blue and not orange? Oh, right, because these are green-orange. Right. Right. This is a sum to 5, and my only available sums to 5 are green, orange, or red, blue, and this one is certainly green, orange. And given that that one is green, orange, this domino must be blue. Very nice. Let's see. Right, and I actually know that this one isn't green, because it has the green low looking at it, so this one is green. And so the low green is not 1 either. Sorry, the low green is not 4, is what's actually true. So that's not 4, and that's not 1. So it's the low orange, but I already knew the low orange wasn't 1, apparently. Okay. So this is green or orange. This is certainly low because of where it is in the sum. Oh, and so this is blue. Because the low blue is in one of these two cells, and it can't be that one. Because if the low blue was in that cell, that would be the high blue, but the high blue is definitely there. So in fact, this is the blue domino. So that's not 4, so that's not 6. Yes, this is green because it's the last low in the row that isn't colored. Yeah, these are an orange-green pair. Yeah, Selena's point is these two cells sum to at least 11 because we've eaten up the 5 and 3 lows in the column. So if those two add up to at least 11, they can't be part of a 3-cell sum. So that is a 2-cell sum. And it's not green and it's not blue. So this is either red or orange. And so because it's red or orange, we know the low digit is there. And the high digit is there. By the way, it's not blue because if it was blue, this cell couldn't be blue. Yes. Where is the high blue in box 4? And the answer is one of... Oh, sorry. No, the answer is exactly there. Because the high blue looks up from there. Which now means this cell is 5, actually. Just by the fact that I have to put 5 somewhere. Which, again, means this cell is low. Although I have to be slightly careful here because I don't know that this isn't a 4-cell sum. Right. So now I've got digits of every color in this box except orange. So that's definitely orange. Oh, and I know the low orange isn't 1. And so now this is green. And this is blue. Just sort of carrying up the chain. The high green, where does it go in box 5? It's actually placed there. So that's the high green. That's the low green. Low green seems, or green seems not to be 4, 6. So this is orange. Just to continue our way to the top. Okay, so this is Okay, so what's the two-cell sum to 5? The two-cell sum to 5 is if this is blue. Well, unfortunately, this could be blue. I was hoping to know that this 10 sum had to extend because it was impossible for these two to sum to 5, but unfortunately is not impossible for those two to sum to 5 as things currently sit, I believe. Row 5, column 9 is orange because it's the only uncolored cell in the row. So therefore, this is the high orange, and this is the low orange. And therefore, this 5 sum is not orange-green, it's red-blue. And by virtue of that, that means that these cells are not red, they are not blue, and they are not green, so therefore they are orange. Which seems to mean that this is not 1 and that is not 9. The low green is actually placed here in this box as a 1, 2, 3, which does indeed make this digit big. It's from 6, 7, 8, 9 for sure. So this is low. It's from 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, okay, this looks at 3 different colors of 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks at the green, the red, and the orange, so this is blue, which makes this not blue and makes this not red. I agree. Okay, so now this is my 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 6, 7, 8, 9. Over there. Okay, so now I guess the point is if I just look at this, this has to be low because either this 10 sum grows or this 10 sum grows. I don't have room to put an extra 10 sum in this cell. So this is always low. In fact, it's always very low, actually. Because if it's coming from this side, it's at most 3, and if it's coming from this side, it's at most 2. So this isn't even a 4. Selena with a sharp spot that red plus blue is 5, and so this actually is a 10 sum. Okay, so that's the better outcome because it means this is a 10 sum, and that actually does a lot more forcing because now that can't be a 4. This can't be an 8 or a 9. So there has to be a 1 in here, which means 1 isn't blue. And that means the only place that 1 can be is green. So green is 1, 9. So we get to fill in a lot of those. And so that makes, if you look at the fact that green low plus orange low is 5, that makes green 4, 6. Seems to make that digit a 7. Like that. And so that seems to be a 7. So no 3s over there. So these are a 1, 2 pair, which now means blue is a 3. Which means that that cell's also blue. And so blue is 3, 7. So that finally, at long last, means red is 2, 8. Like that. Okay, so 3, 7. Okay, 8, 2. 2, 8, 2. 7, 3. Okay, and 2, 8. And now we have just a little bit of coloring left to do. Let me hit the mark button again just to make it easier to color. So this 6 is orange. Yeah, we definitely have to color the 5s. This is a green. Let's see. Let's begin the coloring of the 5s in Simon's sweater green. We'll color that in the regular green, that in the regular red, that in the regular red. That in the Simon sweater green, that in the regular red, and the regular blue. And I'll go ahead and fill in those digits. 3, 7, 3, 9. Oh, I didn't fill in the Simon sweater green for this one, apparently. That in the 8, that in the 8, that in the 5 and the 2. Okay, that in the 3 and the 7. Okay, so now this is a regular green, regular red. And so that makes this green and this not green. If I continue down like that, makes that a 6 and a 4. Makes that green. And it's a 9. Oops, sorry. And it's a 9. Makes this, Simon's sweater. This orange. This, therefore, also orange. So we can fill in the 4 and the 6 and the 5. Makes this blue and orange. Yeah, if I do the numbers first, then the colors, it's a lot easier. But then also I run the risk of finishing the puzzle before finishing the coloring, and that hurts the viewers. Sometimes life isn't always about doing it the easy way. Sometimes life is about doing it the right way. Let's see. So that is an 8. That cell is red. That cell is Simon's sweater. That cell is red and orange. And this cell seems to be the Simon's sweater, and this cell seems to be the regular green. 9, 4, 2, 5, and 8. Very lovely execution there, AFK. Very neat coloring stuff. It was really unclear from the start where I was supposed to start coloring. Like, I sort of started just haphazardly coloring this, and then it ended up being that I colored some of this, and it sort of bounced around. But very satisfying altogether. I quite enjoyed that, and I enjoyed how we got to use the 2 5 sums a bunch. That shows up in a lot of these very coloring intensive 10 lines puzzles. All right, I think it's about a good time to wrap up the stream there for the day. But thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out. Especially thank you to everyone for getting me through this puzzle, because I would, I think, never have finished this puzzle without you. Yeah, it was really neat how sort of it was the joining in the middle that was sort of the climax of the puzzle. That was very well executed. The sort of that little last bit there at the end, very classy. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone who supports the stream, all the green names in chat, all the people who also support on Patreon and everything. Their names are also listed on all of the sort of coming soon stream or screens, so you can see those. If you want to support the stream, as Joao started doing today, you can do that by clicking the $sign icon down at the bottom of chat, which you can do unless you are in on an iPhone, in which case Apple won't let you, but you can do it on Chrome or whatever. So thank you, Apple, I suppose. But huge thank you to all of you who do this. We have no big preference between YouTube and Patreon. I think the YouTube is a little cooler because then you get the emotes in chat, and so that's a little bit cooler. But it does not make a big difference to us in terms of financials. So if you have an ethical preference, then you can certainly do it for Patreon. We are happy for the support regardless. But anyway, huge thank you to everyone for hanging out. Huge thank you to everyone who supports the stream. And last but not least, huge thank you to the Turbines, Daniel, David, Franco, Nell, Nordy, Plonk Time, and DDX. Ooh, It's Tay has gifted 10 memberships. Oh, thank you, It's Tay. Let's get you a donation dance for that. Huge thank you. Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Thank you, It's Tay. And huge welcome to Mekti, Heliopolix, Kevin, Laura, Michael, Tristan, Lakia, Emma, Jaleb, and Liz. Thank you so much. Enjoy all of your emotes. Thank you so much. It's been great having you here today, It's Tay. I hope I will see you around again soon. And to all of the rest of you, I hope to see you around soon. I'll be streaming again on Sunday. I'm kind of jonesing to do another setting stream, so we might do a puzzle and then set something on Sunday. I'm not sure yet, but thank you so much for the new memberships and for the gift memberships from everyone today. It's been great vibes all around all day, so huge thank you. I'll see you all real soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.